if you're talking about Shohei, you got to talk about the fact that, hey, we got a very, very pretty sight. Dodgers fans, for the first time, seeing Shohei Ohtani throwing off the bullpen mound at Dodger Stadium. That is pretty freaking cool. And we had a question in our Discord chat earlier. And by the way, if you guys want to join us in Discord, another way you can support the channel is by signing up on Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg. It's $5 a month to join us in Discord and support the channel, or by clicking the join button here somewhere on your YouTube screen if you're watching on YouTube, or do those things if you're watching on Twitter live. Do one of those things and join us on YouTube. We can actually see your comments here on YouTube. Never be on Twitter, guys, unless you need to. But yeah, the question was posed in the or kind of just thrown out there willy-nilly. Fun. It's an Dodgers off day, but could Shohei Ohtani possibly pitch for the Dodgers this October? If you guys want the short answer, it's no, and we can move on. But if you want the longer answer as to why, we could do that, I guess. It's still no, but factors into this. He's less than 12 months removed from his second elbow surgery. Not quite Tommy John. He did have the internal brace procedure. So as he said during his introductory press conference, it was something it wasn't Tommy John. It was something a little bit different. He didn't know what it was called. He knew very little about the surgery that was just performed on his elbow. But the first version of his Tommy John, which happened in 2018, did not feature the internal brace. And this internal brace thing is just like another piece of synthetic tissue, not necessary tissue, but synthetic material that could, in theory, strengthen the elbow and could, in theory, maybe get him back to the mound earlier. Popping in here after the live stream to kind of add a little bit more thoughts. I talked about the internal brace procedure way earlier this year when we were discussing Dustin May coming back from Tommy John. This was back in January. So I wanted to plug in a clip because I did some more research then than I remembered in the moment here about the internal brace. I mean, I was on the right track. I just felt like there was more we can add. So I got a clip from an earlier edition of the show a number of months back. But before we talk about that, while we're on this video, I got to tell you that BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all things football, from preseason NFL to college kicking off. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads, as you know, while games are being played. If you think you know your stuff, test it. Get in on their winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. If the game isn't happening, if the game is over, head on over to their online casino. Get in on a game of blackjack. Get in on a game of poker. Unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. The big question here is, what is revision surgery, or Tommy John revision surgery, or really ulnar collateral ligament reconstructive revision surgery? I don't know all of the words. It's reconstruction surgery, reconstructive surgery to your elbow, but the Tommy John revision surgery, doing some research on this because it's sort of, the field has changed. The Tommy John itself, the operation or the surgery, of course, that's its nickname, but things have kind of changed over the last couple of years. You're hearing more about the revision surgery. You're hearing about the internal brace. Now, I ain't no big city doctor here or anything like that, so my medical understanding is take it with a grain of salt, we'll say. But my understanding of the revision surgery is that it isn't as involved as the standard Tommy John surgery or the UCL reconstruction. Revision surgery involves reattaching the existing damaged ligament. Most likely it was something that was torn off of a bone instead of split down the middle in these cases. So it involves reusing that, reattaching that instead of grafting a new tendon as they've done for years in the traditional Tommy John surgery. So we'll say advances in the medical field have brought the rise. We've seen the rise in use in the also the internal brace, which is related, I believe, but also not exactly the same, but also the same at the same time. I'll slow it down a little bit. I know I'm going quick on this because, you came here for Dodger talk and D-May talk, not elbow medical talk. But the internal brace thing, as we see some images here, and they're very delicious. I know this. We've heard internal brace a whole lot more over the last few years. They say it is like a collagen tape like material, and that's used to strengthen the ligament, the joint, the elbow area, and ideally keep pitchers pitching more often than not. That said, Beerus Samus says he got the Ohtani John surgery. I like that. Oh, well, we got the $25 super chat, by the way, from Hamilton. I think that's part of the beer fund. Beer Fairy is going to need to bring not a Cayman Jack, anything but a Cayman Jack. I think we got beers in the magic beer fridge, Beer Fairy, but Hamilton coming in clutch with the $25 beer super chat. But thank you very much, Hamilton. Guys, give his super chat a thumbs up so he knows you love him. Back to Ohtani. The big thing about this is the Dodgers are not going to let their $700 million man pitch this year. That's a fact. If he were pitching, you got stupid people running the organization. Something went dangerously wrong for the organization and with the pitching staff where they got that desperate to need to do it. It's not going to happen. It's just plainly not going to happen. Could he, if you had a less smart organization, or if it were a different time, a different era, maybe? Like, in reality, he's throwing bullpens right now. The progression is probably still a month out. Like, let's say, I think somebody threw in Discord, they threw out the idea of him being the guy that could close get the last 3 outs in the. Oh, the Beer Fairy showed up, everybody. Let's give the clap to the Beer Fairy. There's one. Instead, I'm gonna be a corporate shill here. You're good. Thank you, Beer Fairy. Everybody, again, clap for the Beer Fairy. Look at that. I'm also going to be a corporate chill and put my little, well, you guys can't see it, but it's a Foul Territory band. Shout out, Mark Wiener. $25. Thank you, Hamilton. Where am I at? He's throwing. He could be, if they really wanted to be crazy and desperate, he could be the guy that gets the final 3 outs for the Dodgers in the World Series or something like that. Reprise his role in the World Baseball Classic of a season ago. But that's not going to happen. It's not smart. It's just not a good idea for Shohei to be pitching right now. Also, I'll throw this out here just for fun to expand on the Shohei talk. When he does return to the mound in full next year in spring, I'll set your expectations a little bit now. Do not expect to see the same Shohei Ohtani that struck out Mike Trout to seal the deal for Japan in that World Baseball Classic a season ago. His physician, Dr. Neil Elatrash, world-famous physician who does these Tommy John surgeries, the man who performed his surgery, said this past March that the fact that Shohei Ohtani was like touching 103 with his fastball at some points last season, some points early in spring training last season while he was still with the Angels, again, bad organization, was a bit of a red flag. And that's, he's not shocked that the elbow gave on him during the season. So you might see a tapered down Shohei Ohtani, which is still a very devastating Shohei Ohtani because the fastball plays even at 97, 98. He's got the disgusting splitter. He's got the sweeper. He's got the slide piece. I think he's got a curveball in there, but we get to see him. We get to see him at some point, and I get to see this beer thanks to a $25 super chat from Hamilton. I don't know why it's saying. I mean, I would have done it for free, but I appreciate you. That's it. Do you guys want to see Ohtani throwing for the Dodgers this season? I want to see him doing his bullpens, doing his progression. I don't want to see him pitching in meaningful games. That's where I'm at right now.